وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ, and the example of those who spend in pursuit of making Allah extremely happy. They just want to make Allah really, really, really happy, and that's the pursuit they have, and in that pursuit they spend. And someone asked me in the break, and I should mention, this is also people who spend on themselves to study deen. But if they're spending to study deen, knowing in the beginning of that journey, in the middle of that journey, and at the end of that journey that they're doing this to make Allah happy, to become a better slave of Allah, not to become anything else. People will recognize me, people will say I know a lot, people will say I graduated from this institute or that college, people are going to give me public speaking opportunities, etc. If that stuff is going on in your head, then you've already got the wrong intention. All of this is wasted. That attitude will waste everything. If you're doing this first and foremost to get closer to Allah, I want to get to know Allah better, I want to have a better relationship with His book. This is not about anyone else, this is about me. First and foremost. Then you'll be safe. Then you'll be safe. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go back and teach others and you shouldn't help others. But all of that is so far secondary compared to your primary intention. It's so down the list of priorities, And we're not performers. Da'is are not performers. They're not supposed to learn stuff and regurgitate it before a crowd so they can applaud them. It's serious stuff. It's supposed to first of all bring me closer to Allah and then others. And when that attitude isn't clear, the tragedy happens in the life of a da'i, an Islamic activist, man or woman. They become known in the eyes of people, they can speak well, they can communicate ideas well, etc. And yet they themselves have benefited nothing from what they know. They become an empty vessel that helps others get the drink, but they themselves don't enjoy any of it. It's a very sad tragedy to live in. May Allah protect all of us from it. Because it can happen very fast. And you know when it happens? When people appreciate you. Oh, mashallah, I love you. We're so awesome. Thank you so much. Like, just make dua, bro. Stop saying that stuff. Because eventually you hear enough praise and what happens? Yeah, that's right. You better recognize. It starts happening. Shaitan's already patting you on the back. You start learning to pat yourself on the back and think of yourself as something, and that's the end of you. That's the death of you. The greatest celebrities of all time, the prophets, the most humble. The man's done everything he can to please Allah, Ibrahim alayhi salam, and at the end of it all, he's building the Kaaba, and at that time he's worried, maybe I'm not doing a good enough job. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Allah accept from us. Maybe this is not good enough. Maybe I didn't put the brick the right way. Maybe I should have gone this way instead of that way. It's incredible. It's attitude that we're learning, So the one who spends their monies in pursuit of making Allah extremely happy, mardatillah, not just ridha Allah, mardat, over and over again, making Allah happy, وَتَثْبِيتًا مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ, and firm, out of a firmness they have inside of themselves. Also means to build a firmness inside of themselves. What firmness? Firmness, the akhirah is there. I'm putting money in something that is tangible, that is real, that exists. The promise of Allah of that beautiful house, and that amazing garden, and that amazing river, and that awesome company, and His company itself, that reward is there. It's absolutely true. وَعْدًا عَلَيْهِ حَقًّا. And my confirmation that it's true is I keep putting more money into that account. What you believe in, you will put more investment in. You believe in it, you put time in it, you put effort in it. That's what you do in this world. You believe something will yield you results, it gets your time and effort and money. That's the same thing with the akhirah. وَتَثْبِيتًا مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. These people's example, كَمَثَلِ جَنَّةٍ. It's like a garden. بِرَبْوَةٍ, on a very high mountain. So it's in a high location, there's a mountain. أَصَابَهَا وَابِلٌ. Then the same heavy rain falls upon it. When the same heavy rain fell upon that boulder, the boulder became bald, and all of it didn't have any produce to offer in and of itself, all of it was shallow. But this high land has moisture, is protected from the elements, and even when heavy rain falls, enough water to feed it stays, and when the rest of the water trickles down to the bottom. Right? So it gets just the right amount of nutrients. That's why tops of hills and things like that are very beautiful places. So فَأَصَابَهَا وَابِلٌ فَآتَتْ أُكُلَهَا ضِعْفَيْنِ. Then it produced twice the yield. Some even interpret this to mean that if, when people who spend in difficult times get twice the reward. Rain falling has been compared to difficulty. So when they spend in difficult times, they get twice the reward. Like Allah says, لا يستوي منكم من أنفق من قبل الفتح وقاتل أولئك أعظم درجة من الذين أنفقوا من بعد وقاتلوا وكلا وعد الله الحسنى. In Surah Al-Hadid, Allah says, the ones among you who spent before victory came and the ones who spent after victory came are not the same. They have a higher rank. So some compare this ayah to that statement in Surah Al-Hadid saying, yes, difficulty comes and they spend despite that difficulty, it produces twice the yields. Others say that they got a lot more out of it in Jannah, in the Akhirah, than they even expected. فَإِن لَمْ يُصِبْهَا وَابِلٌ, and even if no calamity came upon them, فَطَلْ, then it still holds. In other words, it still produces yield. Even if rain didn't fall, it's still safe. Because of the environment it's in, it's protected. In other words, in the Akhirah you'll get, but even before the Akhirah comes, you're still getting rewards here. You're still getting sustained here in dunya. Wallahu bima ta'maluna basir. And Allah is in complete view, absolutely complete view, especially of what you're doing. In the Quran we find, those of you that read Quran regularly, inshallah all of you, sometimes you find Wallahu basirun bima ta'malun, sometimes you find Wallahu bima ta'maluna basir, sometimes you find Wallahu khabirun bima ta'malun, bima ya'malun, sometimes Wallahu bima ya'maluna khabir. It flips, right? That bima ta'malun, interestingly enough, across the Quran, you can divide it into two categories. You can divide it into umur qalbiyya and umur fi'liyya. Umur qalbiyya meaning matters of the heart. Umur fi'liyya or yadawiyya, matters of the hand. When actions are talked about, bima ta'maluna, bima ya'maluna, your actions are mentioned first. When intentions, faith, taqwa, sincerity, those things are talked about, Allah's attribute is talked about first. Allah sees. Because what does Allah see? Your sincerity first. And then the action is mentioned, bima ta'malun, bima ya'malun. It's actually a really easy tip for hufaz to not forget that. So look, what is the action referring? Is it taqwa? Is it about infaq? Is it about spending? Is it about giving sadaqah? Then bima ta'malun. Is it about fighting? Is it about hijrah? It's about bima ta'malun. So the amal will come first. When it's about a matter of the heart, then Allah's attribute will come first. That which affects the heart more.